Hello, I'm EXPLODABLE and welcome back to a video. Today I figured it would be rather fun to go through the 5 least blast resistant blocks inside Minecraft. The reason I figured it'd be cool to do this is because I mentioned several times now how anvils are one of the most blast resistant blocks in the game, and that, they have a 6,000 value, which means that even if you place TNT next to 4 of them, it does no damage to any of the anvils, which is pretty crazy when you hear that by itself. Wow, 6,000 blast resistance, but it doesn't really mean too much until you put it in perspective to other blocks. So I figured a cool way to do that would be going through the least blast resistant or most explodable blocks inside Minecraft, and that's what we're doing today. So hopefully you do enjoy today's video. If you do enjoy it, like it, let me know, because it helps out the channel, and lets know you do like seeing explodable blocks in Minecraft. But with that said, let's get straight into it by saying that these are only blocks that are full slotted blocks, because even though flowing water is easy to explode, and even though redstone will easily explode, I want to talk only about the blocks, like a full-on solid 16 by 16 thing. One of these things right here, like sand, for instance, which is the 5th, I guess, least blast resistant block in the game, with a resistance, again, in comparison to 6,000 of just 2.5. So, yeah, this is about, what is that, like 2,500 times less resistant than the than the anvils. And just kind of put that in perspective, one of my favorite ways to show this off is with this little tower right here. So, again, ignore the ladders that you kind of here. So here's what the tower looks like now, and here's what it looks like after explosion. The entire pillar gets destroyed by the TNT, and it leaves just 8 blocks in a little donut that falls down. And yeah, I think this is a really cool one to explode because of the fact that it will fall, and because of the fact that if you just place TNT random in there, it can like hit other TNT. And yeah, I feel like there's a fun minigame to be made from that. And for now, I just think it'd be cool to mention that, yeah, sand and soul sand, very, very weak against explosions, and I think it makes for some pretty cool stuff. But it's not quite as weak as Netherrack is, which is the 4th least resistant block in the game, with a value of just 2.0. So 3,000 times less than anvils, and a 20% increase over, a sand in terms of explodability. And to put this in perspective, here's TNT in my little simulated lever, which is 49 blocks in each layer, so about 150 blocks of Netherrack. Look how many are left after this explodes. Just, what is that, like 10-ish roughly? So, less than 1 in 15 survives, and even some of the dirt below this thing gets destroyed too. So, yeah, gets pretty well wrecked, I'd say, and the point I'm trying to raise here is that that's TNT in the Nether. The reason why they never explode so easily is because the explosions you find there are even stronger than this. There's gas explosions, and there's also bed explosions. Bed explosions deal even more damage than this, and yeah, that's why mining with beds in the Nether is one of the most explosive and I guess deadly things you can do. So yeah, don't try to take naps in the Nether, because this is what will happen to you and your soul. So yeah, with that said, let's move into the 3rd least blast resistant block inside Minecraft, shall we? Which is going to have to be glass over here. So you might recognize these cages from I think it was my magma versus slime video. I figured I would repurpose them and explode them to let the imaginary magma cube and the imaginary slime go free. So yeah, just kind of show you that this is the 3rd least resistant block and most explodable. It has a resistance of around 1.5, so 1 in 4,000 of the anvil, and it applies to glass, it applies to stained glass, it applies to glowstone, all of the lighting, transparency blocks. And yeah, here's what it looks like from the slime enclosure. As you can see, you're just standing there thinking, oh, I want to explode it all. Oh, it did explode it all. And some of the ground below it. And the floating glowstone. Well, I guess lots of this will survive, because look how much there is. But yeah, basically glass is a very weak block. It won't protect you from explosions very much. Look how much that hurt me, and I was, outside of the glass. And look how it left just 4 blocks, I guess that's 5 blocks left, out of the entirety of that cage. No matter how far it goes, if, if any part of the explosion can touch any part of the glass, it will just destroy the thing massively, which is pretty crazy if you ask me. So yeah, this is the 3rd most thingy block, and it's the one way if you want to kind of not trick people, but let people know they're going to die, this is the one to use. But if you want to trick people, I'd say you need even less resistant blocks. So the 2nd block we're going to go with here is one you might have spotted from a much early video, because it is leaves or the huge mushroom. So bear in mind that leaves and the huge mushroom have just a 1 blast resistance. Again, on the scale that goes from 0 to 18 million, which is for all the bedrock and stuff, this has a blast resistance of just 1, and that means that even if you take it really densely packed, and bear in mind when you pack explosions together, it gets weaker as it goes out. Even if we take this 7 by 9 by 4 cube off, it could be either huge mushroom or it could be leaves. Look how much damage it does to that. All of the inside stuff is destroyed, some of the dirt below it is destroyed, and pretty much only some of the edges are left. There's like, maybe 10 blocks on each side left, and yeah, that is the 2nd most blast resistant block in the game. It's a really good one for tricking people, because if you have a lot of leaves and you place some TNT behind it, let's say like behind, when you got 2 blocks in a row, like behind there for instance, it's harder to think that that's actually going to kill you. But yeah, because leaves are so, bad at absorbing absorbing damage. Even if I did like that, I would still probably die from over here. So yeah, useful little fact you might not have known. At least they're a good way of tricking people because they think they're safe and they're just not. But there are blocks even less blast resistant than this, and they are the final ones on this list, and it's technically a tie as far as blocks go between the correct answer, like the one you're probably thinking of when you think of an answer, which is slime blocks over here, which have a blast resistance of 0, by the way. So if we detonate this in the exact same cube as we just did over there, then even more... Oh, okay, I thought that was the explosion. Even more damage is dealt. Again, in comparison to, like, what is this, like 15 blocks and maybe like another 15, there is just 7 blocks left on one side and another 7 left on the other side. I think that might be 8 and 8 maybe. But yeah, basically most of the slime blocks are destroyed, and it's insane how little damage this will absorb. To put that in perspective, here's me, you know, with like 3 blocks of slime between the explosion and myself. Again, with 1 block, you can take down an explosion, usually to like glancing blow, but here with 3 blocks between it, it does no effect. The 0 resistance just means it cuts right through it, as if the slime block is not there. And Toycat blew Toycat up, which is a real shame, really. But yeah, that is the least blast resistant block in the game. There's technically one other block which has 0, but arguably you can say it's negative, and arguably it doesn't count because it just explodes itself, because it is of course TNT. But just in case you want to see something cool, you know, at the end of the video here, here's my favorite use for using TNT, to detonate TNT. If you put exactly 4 blocks between it, it detonates like a slow timer, so you can do cool stuff like this, where it just slowly moves, and detonates a little bit of a chain reaction. So, yeah, if you want to do very specific, very timed, okay, you got everyone but this one, reactions, you can do that by having TNT, which has a resistance of just 0, or just 0 doesn't mean anything, but a resistance of literally 0, an infinite amount times less than the anvils over here. So yeah, I hope you did all enjoy today's video. I hope you learned something about something in here. If you did all enjoy it, like video and let me know, because it helps out the channel a lot and lets know you do like these sorts of videos. Share the video if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here, because I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if you subscribe, you see those daily on your homepage. Follow me at IBXToyCat on Twitter if you want to see like the other half of YouTube, and besides that, I will see you all in the next one. Bye!